Good morning to all. In today's session, I am going to explain introduction to acid and base. Already in the part 1 section, I have explained regarding the acid in detail. What is the definition of the acid? What are the properties of the acid, and how many acids we are generally using in our day-to-day life, and how the acids are beneficial to us, and how we can make concentrated acid into the diluted one. Okay, till this portion we have just seen in the part 1 section, that is in acid portion. Okay, and in the part 2 section, we are going to study regarding the base and the neutralization process. Okay, and later on we will be solving with the exercise thoroughly. Okay, question wise we will be moving, and I will be explaining the each question in detail. Okay, but I just want to tell you that I don't have a textbook of this Maharashtra State Board, so I will be referring my mobile as a textbook because I am having a PDF format in my mobile, so I will be referring that. Okay, so without any delay, just we will start our lesson in detail. Okay, so in the base section, actually we have just seen that what do you mean by the acid. Okay, in the earlier part 1 section. So here now we have to just define what do you mean by the base. Okay, sorry, the base. Okay, so there, when the acid component dissociate in aqueous solution, that gives H plus ions as a major component in the acid portion, but in a base, when the base dissociated in water, it gives main component as a OH minus. Okay, so that is the OH minus negative ion. Okay, when it dissociate in a water, so main component here is OH negative. Next, talking regarding the test. Okay, so base is having, as acid was having the sour in taste, but base is bitter in taste. Next, sometime when talking regarding the acids. Okay, so when we are using as an indicator, as a litmus paper, so that change, if we take a blue litmus paper, so in acid, when we put in acid, so that change into the blue litmus paper will change into the red one. But here, when we just put red litmus paper into the base, so that will change into the blue one. Okay, blue. Now here base is somewhat slippery. Okay, like baking soda we are using in our day-to-day life. Okay, generally it is in our home. So when we touch that baking soda, okay, that is a slippery in nature. Okay, so generally base are slippery in nature. Okay, and next are, fourth one is that metal oxides are made base in nature. Okay, whatever metal oxides are we are just getting, okay, on a earth crust, that are always in basic in nature. Okay, so here fifth point is there, metal oxides are basic in nature. For base we are also using the alkali, also basic or alkali in nature. So these are the main properties of the base. Okay, next coming to the some examples we are taking. Okay, like in acid we have just taken HCl, H2SO4. Okay, and in base we have just taking the examples of some base. Okay, so I will write it down. First is the some examples of base. Okay, first is NaOH, that is known as the sodium hydroxide. Okay, that is known as the sodium hydroxide, and generally whatever detergent we are using in our day-to-day life, okay, for washing the clothes, therefore in that the NaOH is present, that is the sodium hydroxide is present. Okay, is known as the sodium hydroxide, okay, and it is used in washing. Okay, so washing soap or washing detergent, where there we are using the NaOH as is sodium hydroxide. Second is we are having the potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide, okay. So this potassium hydroxide is very soft in nature. So therefore we are using this potassium hydroxide in a bathing soap. Okay. So it is in the washing soap. I can write over here, and here it is used in bathing soap. Okay. Next we are coming to the third one is the CaOH2, that is known as the calcium hydroxide. CaOH2, that is known as the calcium hydroxide. It is also known as the lime water. And where we are using the lime water, that we are using this lime water in a white washing. Generally, this question asks what is the chemical formula for the lime water, that is a Ca in bracket OH2, that is calcium hydroxide, and it is used in white washing. Okay. Next, it is coming to the fourth one, that is the magnesium hydroxide, that is MgOH2. This is also known as the milk of magnesia, and it we are using this milk of magnesia as an antacid. Okay, generally, as we know that in our stomach we are also having the secretion of the acid, but when this excess amount of acid is released in our stomach, so that is very harmful to us, and for that acidity we are just taking a milk of magnesia in the form of tablet. Okay, so it acts as a milk of magnesia, and it acts as an antacid. Okay, so these are the some examples of the base, and then last one is the ammonium hydroxide. Okay, NH4OH, that is ammonium hydroxide. Everyone know that ammonia, where ammonia is there, that means that is used utilized in fertilizer. Okay, so these are the few examples of the base. Next we are moving to the neutralization. What do you mean by the neutralization reaction? Okay, so coming to the very interesting topic, what do you mean by the neutralization? See here, as we have seen what do you mean by the acid, what do you mean by the base, but here the question comes, do the acid and base react with each other? Because as it is difficult to touch acid or base in a original form, but do that acid and base react with each other? Yes, the acid and base both react with each other, and what they form, that we are going to study. So when acid and base, okay, when they react with each other, they form salt and water. Okay, and here acid, everyone know, okay, acidic in nature, base basic in nature, and salt is neutral in nature. Okay, therefore here neutralization reaction means what? When the acid and base react with each other, they form salt and water. This process is only known as the neutralization reaction. Okay, so here everyone knows that acid, here the main component is H plus, and in base we are having the OH negative one, and at last it just gives out the water. Okay, so like in neutralization reaction, I will be giving two examples. Okay, but generally I have given one example like acidity in our stomach. Generally we are having in our stomach acid is released, and when the excess amount of acid is released, in order to just lower down the content of the acid, we are taking the antacid, that is the for the tablet we are taking for the acidity one, that is that act as a neutralization, okay, in our stomachs, and therefore later on the it neutralizes that acid, and we will get relief from that acidity. Similarly in the soil, like in farmers, somehow they are not getting the production of any crop, so they will say that there is the acidity in our crop field. So for that also they will just consult with the agriculturist, and they will just suggest that just neutralize that soil, and just they pour some form of that neutralization into that soil, and that soil get neutralized, and later on that soil will become useful to the crop production. Okay, so these are the two examples that I have given regarding the neutralization reaction. Okay, now we will move to the exercise. Okay, so I will be just taking the help of my phone where the exercise PDF is given. So in first exercise, in the first page, page number 88, they have given identify the following solution whether they are acid or alkali. Okay, so we have to find out whether the particular substance is acid or base in nature. Okay, so now first it is saying litmus is there, and phenolphthalein that will not show means one solution they have given. Okay, they have given one solution. They are saying that litmus they have not mentioned. Phenolphthalein, no change will be there. Okay, when we just put phenolphthalein in that particular solution. Okay, so there will be no change. And in methyl or orange, there nothing they have just shown. Okay, and so whether we have to just show whether it is the acid or alkali, we have to just mention. Okay, so phenolphthalein where no change will be shown, that means that will be the acid in nature. Okay, like when litmus paper, so in litmus paper what we will just put that we are taking a blue litmus paper that turn into red, and phenolphthalein there will be no change, and methyl orange the color will be red in color. Always methyl orange will say in this acid portion that will show the red in color, and that means acid in nature. Similarly, second one is there, fill in the blanks is there. Phenolphthalein, nothing they have written, and orange color turn into. Say everyone knows that when methyl orange color change into the red one, that is always acid in nature. So it is acid in nature. Litmus paper, the blue litmus paper will change into the red one, and phenolphthalein there will be no change. Similar like in above one. And next is the third one, red litmus turn into automatic. The answer will be in the alkali in nature, and phenolphthalein pink color will be there in the base section, and orange color, that methyl orange will change into the yellow section. Okay, in this base in nature, that is alkali in nature. Okay, this was a simple question. Okay, that is given in this exercise page number 88. Second question is a write chemical names from the given formula. Now I will just write it down, okay, on a page so that you can just mention the answer. Okay. First is given H2SO4. Okay. So here H2SO4. H2SO4 means that is known as a hydrogen sulfate. Everyone know again, that is common hydrogen sulfate. Okay. Next is there CaOH2. I already told you that will be what? This is known as the lime water, and this is known as a calcium hydroxide. I am writing here as the lime water. Okay. Next is there HCl. Everyone know HCl means what? Hydrogen chloride. Next is there NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. And next is there KOH, that is potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide. And last is there NH4OH, that is ammonium hydroxide. That is generally used in fertilizer. Okay, so these are the names of the uh, some chemical names that we have just given, formula they have given, and we have just written the names. Next is there page number 88 only. Question number 3 is there. Sulfuric acid has the highest importance in a chemical industry. Why? Okay. So here they have just asking the why the sulfuric acid is more important in a chemical industry. Okay. So that we have to write over here. So here I can just mention that this sulfuric acid is used in many ways. Okay, like in as we have learned in the acid portion, that is used in a fertilizer also. That sulfuric acid is also used in a battery. Okay, that is in a cell, dilute sulfuric acid. And next we have also learn that it is also used in the paint, as well as it is also used in the dyes one. Okay, so these are the few points you can write over there. Okay, and again one more, that it is used in the explosive. Okay, this sulfuric acid is also used in the explosive one. So these are the 5 points you can write over there. Okay, why this sulfuric acid is more important in a chemical industries. Okay, next is there, give answer which acid is used for getting chloride salt. Okay, so now already we have studied in the part 1 section that for any form of chloride we are using only the HCl, that is hydrogen chloride. Okay, so here they which acid is used for getting the chloride salt. Okay, so you can just mention all that we are using the HCl, that is hydrogen chloride, for getting a salt. So how we are getting, so we are just mentioning one equation. Okay, so solution you can write over like that. We are using HCl to get chloride salt. Okay, now we how we are getting, so we are getting like HCl plus NaOH, that is acid and base, it will react to form NaCl plus H2O. So here it is NaCl is the chloride salt. Okay, so one example you can give. Okay, next it is, by squeezing lemon on a piece of rock, the gas liberated termed lime water milky. So always keep it in mind that whenever the lime water turn into milky, okay, so there is always the presence of the CO2 gas. Okay, which compound is present in the rock? So we have to tell which compound was present in the rock. Okay, so like generally whenever this what acid reacts with carbonate or the carbon compound, okay, then only the CO2 gas is released. Okay, so uh, I can just write it down like that. Whenever, see here, so here lemon means the acid one. Okay, here the lemon means the acid. Okay, and when the acid reacts with the carbonate, or bicarbonate. Okay, bicarbonate, so it always give the CO2 gas. Okay, so therefore we can say that due to the presence of carbonate or the bicarbonate that reacts with the acid and liberate that the CO2 gas, that change into the milky lime water in milky way, lime water milky. Okay, next question, the label on which bottle of chemical is spoiled, how will you find whether the chemical is acidic or not? As I already told you, like we cannot identify a particular solution is whether acidic or base. For that we are using the indicator. So we are we are having the litmus paper, phenolphthalein and methyl orange. So we can use the litmus paper. By the use of litmus paper we can identify whether the particular substance is acidic or basic in nature. Okay, so we are having the two type of litmus paper, blue litmus paper and red litmus paper. For identification of the acid we are using the blue litmus paper, and for identification of the basic substance we are using the red litmus paper. Similarly we are having the phenolphthalein also. So in phenolphthalein also it indicates whether the particular substance is acid or base. And next we are having the methyl orange. If it turns into the red, that means it is acid in nature, and if it turns into the pink one, that means in base in nature. Okay, so likewise we are having the indicator, so we can use that indicator to identify whether the particular substance is acidic or basic in nature. Next is having explain the difference between the acid and alkali. Okay, alkali is same as the base, so we can say acid for the base. We can say the alkali also. Okay, so I'm just writing in a simple language. I'm writing acid in one and alkali. Okay, alkali or base. Okay, so first point you can write down the taste of the acid is sour in taste. Okay, here it is bitter in taste. Here, when in dissociation, when the acid dissociates in water, so which component as a main component it gives? It gives the main component H plus ions, and here it gives the OH negative ion. Okay. Third is there, when we just take blue litmus paper in the acid, just dip it out, so it will show red in color. Okay, blue litmus change red in color. Okay, whereas in this here red litmus paper change into blue in color. Okay, fourth one we can just give the examples of the acid. For example, we are having HCl. Okay, H2SO4. Okay, and here this example of the base, we can just give example of KOH, NaOH. Okay, so these are the basic difference between the acid and base. Okay, this is the simple form so that you can just remember, and generally it is asked for the 2 marks, so you can write easily in detail. Okay, and next question is there, why indicator does not get affected by the salt? Okay, so as I already mentioned in this part 2 section, that salt is neutral in nature. Okay, so when the particular substance is acid or base in nature, so that indicator will show whether a particular substance is acid or base. But if it is a salt, then it will not show any change. So that means the particular salt is in neutral in nature. Okay, next is which substances are produced by neutralization process. So already I mentioned you that in neutralization process, when the salt and when the acid and base react with each other, they always form salt and water. Okay, so here the in neutralization process, salt and water is formed. So you can give one example, HCl plus NaOH give rise to NaCl plus H2O. Next is which are the industrial use of acids. So you can write the same uses of the acids. Okay, where we are using in dyes, in paints, in explosives, in sale. Okay, again we are using in the fertilization also. So this kind of uses you can write down there. Okay, next fill in the blanks is there. Main constituent of acid is H plus ions, and main constituent of the base is the OH minus. Fill in the blanks is the appropriate word. Main constituent of the alkali is OH, and tartaric acid is present in where is a weak acid or strong acid, that is weak in acid. Okay, whatever natural stuffs are there and where the acid is present, that acids are known as the natural acids or organic acids. Okay, that are weak in nature. Okay, so we can say that it is weak in acid. Next, them as the pair is there, tamarind will be tartaric acid, curd will be lactic acid, lemon will be citric acid, and vinegar will be acetic acid. Next, true or false is there. Oxides of the metals are alkaline in nature. Yes, the metal, as I just explained in the base section, that metal oxides are always in alkaline in nature. That means base in nature. True. Next is salt is acidic. False one. Okay, because salt is neutral in nature. Next, metal corrode due to salt. Yes, due to the presence of the salt, metals get corroded. Okay. Next is there, salts are neutral. True. Next, classify the following substance into acidic or basic and neutral group. HCl is acidic, NaCl is a salt, so that is neutral. MgO, that is the magnesium oxide, that is basic in nature because any metallic oxides are basic in nature. KCl is there, that is salt in nature. H2SO4 acid in nature. HNO3 is there, that is acidic in nature. And H2 waterman, that is neutral in nature. And Na2CO3, that is basic in nature. Again, I am just writing over here. NaCl, okay, that is salt, neutral. Okay. Next is there MgO, that is the metal oxide. So here I can write oxide. See here, base in nature or alkali in nature. Next is there KCl. It is also a salt. So it is neutral in nature. Then we are having HCl. Okay, HCl we are having. This is everyone know that is acid in nature. Okay. Next is NaCl, MgO, KCl. H2SO4 is also acid in nature. HNO3 is also the acid in nature. Acidic. Okay, you can write acidic in nature. Okay. And next H2O is neutral in nature. And next is Na2CO3, basic in nature. This is the carbonate form, so this is also the basic in nature. Okay, so in this today's class I have just explained you regarding the what do you mean by the base and what are the properties of the base, and I have just solved the exercise portion in detail, and I have explained each question thoroughly. And if till then also if you are having any doubt, you can just comment in the below section so that I can explain that topic in detail. And in today's video, if you like my video, just like it, share it and subscribe my channel. Thank you.